0.
Good evening, Dan. How are you tonight?
Tired. Putting in way too much work on my own car, and I keep forgetting how loose my standards are for my own stuff when I try and do better things for other people. I gotta up my own game a little bit.
What part of Alabama?
Alabama. I thought there was only one part of
Okay, we
Alabama.
can comment tonight. All right. The show for Alabama will be in Montgomery, Alabama, next Saturday. You still with me, Dan?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that one right now here for you in what, 4 days basically. You get that one Saturday morning coming up on the business loop down there, the way it looks. Right next door to the golf course. You're going to get some hate from that, I'm pretty sure of that, but too bad.
Oh man, they absolutely have let me come there a dozen times already. It's all good at that location.
Excellent.
I'm absolutely loving this background we have tonight. I think it's super cool.
Well. Like I said, before we started up tonight, I know that Jimmy was working on something. He mentioned something a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. And I know Billy obviously has been doing a lot of this stuff as well. And his boy John Taylor as well, helping him out with it, getting results posted and things like that. So this may be one of those extra little things that we get to see from him coming up with maybe a little bit more graphic intensive things coming up with results and backgrounds, which would be really nice. Kind of get tired of the same things, kind of like my background that I got here with this and yours, but we get to change those ourselves. But some of the bigger ones, I'll leave those to Billy and JT and a few other folks to come up with some different ideas for them.
Right. Well, so far it looks like we have Brandon Erickson and Mr. Reinhardt in here with us tonight.
I can live with that. Tack with those guys all the time. You know that we have Brandon on
Good
Monday
evening,
nights.
Brandon.
He holds down the fort on Monday nights with Jim up there in the Michigan and Northern Indiana portions for us. Does an excellent job with that. I was barely on Monday night with them. I don't even remember if I did anything on this past Monday with them, but generally I'll throw in one or two comments, but they're rarely needed. Those guys are on the ball, and I know they got some big shows coming up pretty soon. So it'll be really nice to see what Brandon and Jim can bring to the eastern portion of the Midwest area up here, Indiana, Michigan, maybe a little into Illinois and Ohio as well. So be able to see that and get some more folks set up with us that way. It's always
Good evening, Shane.
Hey, Shannon,
And
what's going on?
while we're on the shows, where are they this weekend?
Well, not even all of them this weekend. I actually have one coming up on Friday. Well, I suppose it's a weekend because it's after Friday night, after you get off work. But Friday night, I am doing a little show at the shop that my partner Philip and I have down here in T, South Dakota. We're doing a little tweak and tune, but it is a full show. So bring your neon as well. We'll get some neon pictures taken and have a nice little show, rain or shine. We got your box shop throwdown show coming up on Saturday. That's in Montgomery. Those are the two that we got for this weekend. And next weekend, though, we got about one, two, three. God, it looks like we got 4 or 5. Actually, we have a couple more coming up this weekend. We got a couple on Saturday and Sunday that my screen had not, it jumped on me there for a second. I was seeing dates coming up on the 23rd. Looks like Pop-Tart's got a couple of shows coming up here, Saturday and Sunday. Madisonville, Kentucky, Western Kentucky Speedway with the 12-week extravaganza. Looks like Brandon's got a show coming up in Marion, Indiana as well with the Beatdown at Ballard. So we're going to have that on Saturday and Sunday. Pop-Tart again is going to be out there on Sunday according to this, the dates he's got on here as well. And it looks like we got James out in, and I'm going to get the name wrong here. Is it Clackamas, Oregon? James is one of our new judges out there. He's based out of the Portland area. So a good luck on the first show out in the Portland area for him this weekend.
Okay. Well, last weekend I did the Turn Down for What show in Greenville, North Carolina. And Mr. Jeffrey Rodheimer come in and helped with the show.
Excellent.
I will tell you, he is going to make an excellent judge. So if you're anywhere around his area, please book him for a show. He needs some locations because y'all got a really good judge coming.
Good to hear that. Always welcome a new judge into the area and get them what they need from us. If it's questions or advice,
I don't think I've ever worked with a judge before that come out of the gate knowing what to do. Excellent. He had natural instincts of what to do and when to do it. I was quite proud of him. So Jeffrey did great this weekend, y'all. And he learned not to leave his keys in his car.
I've had a few competitors do that over the years, and I've just said, okay, drive the tow pig through, and when you get 3/4 of the way, stop, and we'll maybe somehow figure out a way to prop your door open or not necessarily break the glass on it, but we'll figure out a way to get some type of a score for you. And yeah, I've had to do that before with the window up, trying to do like a mayhem score on it. And we're like, okay, we can't really do that either, but drive the tow pig through. And, you know, I know that your car is here because I can see it. I'll measure the tow pig for you and we'll put it as the regular car. So it works. Because most of the time, the tow pig only does 115 or 120. So not trying to set any records at every show, but we can make it happen.
All right, let's see.
Next North
Good
Carolina
evening,
show is
Mr.
We Are Not
Jeremy
Alone.
Sutton.
Nice. The We Are Not Alone show. I gotta look for that one because, like I said, I had all kinds of weird things happening here with my screen.
Good evening, Jason. Good to see you. This
There we are. That
is
one's
the
on
guy that
Saturday
is
20th, all right.
hosting our event for the box shop this weekend. Mr. Jason McDaniel, he hosted finals for me one year.
Very cool.
Great.
Thank you, Jason. A late thank you on that, but yeah, if you're part of the finals crew, that you help us out one way or another. If one of us doesn't say thank you on it, it might be a ways off, but thank you for helping her out. We always appreciate that. Oh,
all right. Looks like we got a new build coming out this weekend too.
New builds are always fun. Bring extra tools just in case, especially because it's new. Might not necessarily be new equipment, but if the build is new, got to expect new issues. Good, bad, or otherwise. Hopefully most of them good.
Good evening, James. Good to see you in here.
James, good evening. Jason and Brandon and Jeffrey again, good evening to everybody that's out there filing in and coming in, watching us tonight, taking a listen. Yeah, we got a good things happening this weekend. We got 5 shows, a couple more coming up next weekend as well, as I'm kind of perusing the big list here of everything.
There is a show on Sunday that I didn't hear you mention. It is down in, it's Jordan's show. Oh Lord, I think it's down in Biloxi at the beach.
There is one on there. There is. I apologize there to Jordan. That is the Mike Davis benefit show. I'm looking at it right now. That is at the Lighthouse again down there at Broadwater Marina Lighthouse. Jordan will be
Runs
there.
are going to be $40 this time, with most of that going to Mike Davis. Yep. So everybody's going to be leaving the box shop because that's only 2 hours away. We're going to be driving straight there.
Enjoy that one. That is, like we said, that is a benefit show, and occasionally we get called upon by our competitors to do a benefit show for things like that. And it's very nice to be able to do things like that. It's not always, toys for tots and things around the holiday time. If we have a competitor that is in need of something because of a natural disaster or health issues or family emergencies and things like that, if you need something from your local judge, we can generally help you out really quick on a lot of things like that. So please reach out to your judge. If you're a regular competitor or one of your big people that host your shows or something, if one of your employees needs something done for something like that, reach out to us. We can help you out. I don't know a single judge out there that doesn't do things like that. So, but this one happens to be for Mike Davis needing some emergency surgery. So a little benefit for Mike down in Biloxi at the Lighthouse down there.
And for those of y'all that can't make it, just send some prayers. That's all he needs.
Definitely do that. Definitely. Oh, first weekend show. Russell, you will have a lot of fun at it. Nice. If you have questions when you get there, Russell, look for whoever is going to be hosting that show. They will be able to help you out in answering most of them. Otherwise, if you go out to our basewars.org website and you click on the guidebook, that will give you pretty much everything you need as well. It'll give you your classifications. It'll tell you what you can and cannot do as far as music or tones and descriptions of the classes. whether it's a tone or music class, the length of the class as far as 30 seconds or 60 seconds, where you can place the mic. We got a lot of things for you to take a look at in that regard for
Oh, well,
other questions. Certainly.
He'll be running lanes for me, so he'll be in good shape.
Oh, yeah. Ask the judge, ask the local competitors.
Just come up and talk to me.
Come on up and talk
to
me, Alyssa. We will get you taken care of. We always do.
Hey, we have Mr. Greg Kelly in the house.
Greg, are you the hotness or is Stacy the hotness in that one?
I don't know. It ain't neither one of us, so I ain't answering to it.
I'm not asking. I'm posing the question. I'm not really asking. Nice. Yeah. If you're coming to demo with it, Russell, everybody likes a good demo.
Deal. Good deal. Yeah, get your lanes out of the way first thing in the morning, then you can go demo all day long. You be in good shape. Just get that meter taken care of.
If the show starts at 10, be in the lane by 10:05. Make sure the setup is done first, though, because otherwise you might not be able to get done till 11. But help out the judge, set them up, get in the lane, get it done, and then go park and demo all day. I know that's what a lot of people like to do. I would highly recommend doing it in that particular scheduled kind of time frame. Get it in there, get it done, go park, and enjoy the rest of the day. Talk with everyone that's there.
There's always a line at the box shop.
Yeah.
We'll get that knocked down pretty fast because we're going to have a couple of us there and we'll be running lanes as fast as we can.
I have mentioned this in the past up there with got one guy who Eric knows. Eric, good evening. Got a guy who's got a similar car to Eric's. He's got a little 4-door Neon up here in this area, and Mr. Beasley, when he's in the right frame of mind, I can't get his name typed in and classification set fast enough for him. He is on the ball when he gets into the lane. He's boom, 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 and it's done. He's got 5 classes done literally inside of a minute.
Okay. This is what Greg Kelly was talking about, the new hotness.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And I saw that and it was like, oh, we don't want to get on them other words.
When you're bigger, you can.
With a little one. Okay. Now, we were thinking about some topics for this show. I wanted to ask, how do y'all know when you're going to pick a good audio shop or a good box builder? Which line do y'all take? Do you look at everybody's work? Do you go to shows? How are y'all picking it?
A lot of hit and miss, but you got to look around and find out what they're good at. Because not every shop is the same.
No, they are not. And that is why we're discussing this. Not all shops are the same. But how do you know if you're going to be able to pick a good shop in your area? Yeah, I agree. Do it yourself.
Yep. I would think that after 30 some odd years of looking at shops and looking at installs, I kind of know who the good people are in the area. I've seen their builds. I've seen the quality or laziness in their builds. I know some people that take a lot of time with customers to make sure they get it right. So their build quality may not necessarily be there, but their customer service is there before, during, after the sale. And yeah, that right there is kind of what I'm talking about, Jason. If you are going into a shop, and if I'm listening to and I got to look to see who's commenting here. If I'm listening to you or Courtney or Brandon or Melissa, and you're telling me about the system that you want to have, I got to be able to accommodate that one way or another. And if I can't, it does not help me out to tell you that I can if I'm just blowing smoke. If I can't do it, I will flat out tell you that, I'm not the right shop for something like that. You should go see someone else. And hopefully, you take that with a grain of salt and you look at me as being a nice, honest person to do it, because I'm telling you that I can't, but I know who can. And I point you in their direction. So hopefully they'll do the same thing back to me. So knowing what you're getting into definitely helps, and having that budget, having the idea of what you want. You can't just walk in and say, I want a system that booms. Well, okay. And then you walk out $1,000 or $3,000 or $10,000 later, and you step into the lane and you come in 9th out of 4 people because, well, your system just sucks. That's not what I want to have going around with my name attached to it, or really anyone's name attached to it. So yeah, it's you got to know what you're getting into, and you got to be able to ask a lot of questions, and hopefully the salespeople at those shops, they know what they're talking about and that they actually listen to you. So if I got $1,000 to spend, that's what my budget is. If I've got 5,000, that's what my budget is. If I've got whatever vehicle, do I know one in town that's similar? Do I know one in the area that's similar? That, hey, maybe Jason and Brandon can meet up and see Melissa's vehicle or my vehicle or someone else's vehicle to take a listen and see what can be done.
All right.
Whole bunch of variables.
The reason I ask is because we have a lot of newbies out here that are telling me that I just paid to have this installed, and I'm seeing some garbage. There's some garbage shops out there. So go to these shows and look at some of these people's work before you decide to sign up with them. Pay attention to what they're doing. Definitely. But I'm a little concerned for my newbies right now. I'm seeing some really bad shops out there. And everybody should know this. Not everybody works on the same level. Some people put more detail and character into their builds. But if you're paying for something, please go look and see what they're actually producing at these shops. Don't just take their word for it. Go look. Ask for something that they've done.
Definitely.
Because, I might not build the kind of box you want. Yeah, I build SPL boxes. Jason builds demo boxes and SPL boxes. All of us do a little bit of something different. And some shops are better than others. So keep that in mind when you're new. Go look at their work. Just because you're excited to get a build done doesn't mean you need to throw your money out the window to just any shop. Let them earn your business.
Very true.
Okay, now I'm going to step off my soapbox and we'll get back to the show. There are levels to this.
Oh, yes, there are definite levels to that. And to kind of add on to what you were saying, Melissa, if you're going to a shop, not only do you want to see what they've built, what they are building currently, or what their plans are for something else, honestly, take a look at the tools that they're using as well. I can use, and I gotta look for something here really quick. I can use a knife to turn a screw if I have to, but it helps if I have the right kind of screwdriver in hand to set the gains and I'm not using my knife for it. Make sure that they have the right tools available, and don't be discouraged if they tell you that, again, I'm not the right person for this. I've never seen that. As long as they've got Google or any number of other technical websites available to them, because I just used one last night. I hadn't seen a Jeep Grand Cherokee in probably 10 years, and threw me for a loop. I was using a pack converter, getting to a radio for one of my regular guys out here, and I had to resort to telling him to come back, and he was in on Monday night. He came back last night. I got 10 hours into a radio install because I couldn't figure something stupid out, and finally just ended up going to the factory amp, tapping into that, and running wires up to the deck. I tried a different pack converter, all kinds of things, but I wasn't going to let him walk away upset with me. So knowing that I'm able to stick it out,
Right.
if you got a shop that isn't able to do that, that's going to half-ass something, that's not the shop for you. Make sure you get it, like I said,
That's another thing.
before, during, and after.
While we're on this discussion, newbies, be sure to ask if tuning is included. If not, you may need to pay extra for tuning.
Yep.
Because some shops throw it in, some do not. And you don't want to start playing your stuff if it's not tuned.
Very true.
Because I've seen so many production shops just let it go. The equipment's installed and they give it a little bit of a tweak and it's gone. So ask for tuning. Some of these shops, they'll charge you by the hour for it, but it's worth it.
And every once in a while, that meter will break your heart if they're not tuning properly. So definitely.
Yep.
If you can't find what you're looking for, again, maybe it's the shop down the street. Maybe it's your buddy that told you about them. Maybe he knows someone else or she knows someone else. And don't be discouraged if you have to drive a little ways to get to somewhere either. Where I'm at here in Sioux Falls, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of 4.5 shops in the area that work really well. But I know that one of them is really good at something and another one is really good at something else. And unfortunately, another one, I don't really know anything about them except what they sell. And they're a bigger shop in town, but I never see any of their builds around. So are they SQ? Are they SPL? What do they specialize in? What do they not specialize in? Something like that. Good stuff to know before you start looking around as well is, do they match what I'm really looking for, or would they be just the place to go get the equipment? Would I want someone else to install it? That's always a possibility as well. Yeah, exactly, Courtney. If you're driving 3.5 hours to get to somewhere, that's 200 miles for a lot of folks. I know people that won't drive that far for any show, let alone to go to a shop.
Definitely. To me, I'll ship my vehicle across the country if I think it's going to get done right.
Well, that's Canadian dollars. Those are loonies.
Yeah, that's the big thing. If you paid for it, you shouldn't have to fix it.
Right.
And so the reason I brought it up is because a lot of times we have builds done and then we have to pay to get them redone because it was just that wrong. And that is twice as expensive. Your homework, on which shop you want to use is very important.
Very much so. It's like forgetting something at work and you are driving to get there. Well, you've got to turn around, go back to point A, go back to point B to where you were when you got the call, and all that extra time you could have already been done. So it's going to be a lot of wasted time, and unfortunately, in a lot of cases, a lot of wasted dollars on your side of things that it wasn't understood by the shop, or possibly I didn't explain in enough detail what I wanted the shop to do. So it can be both the buyer and the seller, or the buyer and the installer that didn't understand one facet of it or another. It always depends on what you want, what you can spend, and in some cases, really, can it even be done in that particular vehicle?
Good evening.
Hey, Wes.
Yeah, Mr. West Strickland in the house with us. Good to see you, sir. And for y'all that don't know about Wes, please go Google his car. That is the cleanest little car I've ever seen in all my life.
Oh, come on, I went through like 50 wipes today in my car. My car's getting pretty clean. Doesn't have a dash in it. And by not having a dash in it, I mean it literally doesn't have a dash in it right now. It's sitting 5 feet away from me.
Mine doesn't have a lot of things in it right now.
I don't have a steering wheel in it. I don't have a dash. Half my AC is taken out. All the there's a lot of stuff not in my little car right now, but it'll get done. Maybe even this week.
Oh, damn.
Not in time for my show on Friday night, but it'll get done.
I don't know. I'm trying to get mine done for Saturday, but my amps are still sitting in the boxes. And I'm looking at it going, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to make it.
Probably not. Not if they're still sitting in the boxes. Oh, whoa. David, you busted a firewall? What did you break on a firewall? That I got to hear.
Rip metal in it.
I got to hear that one. Back windows I'm not so worried about. Back windows are, you put in a 6-foot 2x4 and you only had 3 feet to do it in. So that happens.
Okay, we got a busted firewall and a window missing. Y'all been playing really hard considering we ain't had any shows this week.
Yeah, Courtney, with yours, were you blasting the kickers, and they were kicker 10s, and you used liquid nail, like the story from the 90s that actually is true. I know people that saw it happen, and it has been talked about live by people that did legitimately see it. It happens when you go boom, boom.
All are going to have
Correct.
Little Red
USAT,
go
there you
to.
go.
There we go.
That's something else, Ben. If you've got someone that really knows, like I said, if you've got a shop out there that really knows how to fiberglass something and you're looking for that, go talk to them for door panels, talk to them about center consoles, talk to them about trunk panels or just panels in the hatch. If you've got people that really know how to make a box, talk to them about a box, whether it's SQ or SPL or demo or otherwise. If you got a shop that really knows alternators, that's who you want to be looking for some of that stuff as well. So keep that in mind.
Yep, most definitely, because a lot of production shops aren't set up to build. Yep. Not at all.
Every once in a while, they might be set up to do just, there's specific places in almost every town that will do oil changes and tires, and that's it. And then you've got the guys or the gals that are going to do mufflers and brakes, and then you've got the transmission shop, and then you have that one specialty shop that kind of does everything just for custom cars or your classics. It's the same way in car audio. Got one shop that does great door panels, and you got another shop that does really great boxes, and another one that really knows how to tune. And then you've got some other guy that's kind of the jack of all trades, but he doesn't do any of them perfect, but he can get it all done for you. Oh, who's buying lunch tomorrow? Yeah, I need a free lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna need a free lunch. Actually, I'm gonna need a free breakfast on Friday if someone's buying breakfast. I got to be at the shop at 5 a.m.
I understand how come Jeffrey's missing so many parts. Man, we abused the crap out of his vehicle this weekend. We just all took turns over there demoing his stuff.
Yeah, Wes, I'm kind of the same way, Wes. Like I said earlier, I don't think you were on yet. I had a guy stop in Monday night and played around with his radio, and I knew that the radio worked because it was in his Mustang not 2 weeks ago when I got everything figured out in there, and came in just a couple nights ago with it here Monday night. Put in about 4 hours, put in about 4.5 last night with a little bit of time in between. Kind of sucked, but we did get it done. And I had literally 8.5, 9 hours of time into just the radio in this damn Jeep that I just could not get to work with the interface for it and just didn't like me at all. So who's all going to Kentucky? A lot of people are going to be in Kentucky this weekend. That is a good show to have up there, David.
No.
Because that is going to be Saturday and Sunday, as opposed to just Brandon's on Saturday and Sunday out in Oregon and Biloxi. We got like 6 shows this weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday shows.
Awesome. It's good to see Baseport's back up and rolling. The weather's good. We should all be out playing.
Mm-hmm. It was so good up here the last couple days. In fact, it's been like 70 degrees the last 3 days up here. So it has been really nice. Had the door open in the shop today for a while. Even had a bird fly into the shop, and I won't say what I threw at it, but the 2x4 did not get hurt. Almost, but not quite.
Oh man, I was ending up having to do a headliner today. That was my job for today. I was like, we at Denton Audio Show. What the heck am I doing this for?
I've redone a couple headliners in the past. I don't recommend them. They are time consuming.
Yes, everybody's headed to the beach on Sunday.
Yep.
Jordan's got his show, so everybody's going to be leaving the box shop in Montgomery, and we're going to drive 2 hours to the beach.
Soaking up some sun, soaking up some tunes.
And the beach show, it don't matter, even if it's cold down there, it's fabulous. It's a beautiful view. Only thing is I'm scared of the pelican down there. They have an aggressive pelican at this show.
Carry a net with you and just throw it over its beak. It won't hurt you then. They'll just run at you and stab you. They're kind of like turkeys in that regard. Get some wild turkeys, and those things will chase you for miles.
Marion show for him this weekend.
Working on the bourbon. Yeah, those. I know what you're talking about there, Wes. Anytime you got to do body work or just general repairs on your vehicles, they can be a pain. Okay, I almost hate to ask about the frog since I just heard a pelican story.
I am terrified of frogs, y'all.
I was going to say,
just don't let them near me. Yes. Anything like that. Yes.
Well, yeah, we do have the meth turkeys up here. That's true. Every once in a while, those little... The turkeys don't care. And if there's a facility up here that's been cooking, the turkeys will get in there when they moved out, and you will see turkeys they'll chase anything, including a speck of dust in the air for miles. They will do weird things. That's all I can say.
Hot spot issues right now.
They will do some funny things. Oh. Jeffrey, I know a guy that can get all that done in about 5 minutes. He's not cheap.
All right. Well, I am starting to have some hotspot issues and can't hear y'all.
Oh.
Good evening.
Doors, door panels, everything. Compacts this weekend, David. I could...
the compacts are in Alabama. If you want them, come get them this weekend. I will be there on Saturday.
I wouldn't mind some certain brand of Neos, not necessarily what people refer to the compact Neos, but might have to break out the checkbook for something like that soon. we all have bass head problems, Wes. we wouldn't be doing this show on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays if we didn't have bass head problems. Let alone Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows.
Jeffrey had a lot of help this weekend breaking his vehicle. He parked it way too close to the baseboard's tent and left the keys in it. Of course, we're going to take it.
See, that's why I like my little Festiva. I can pull the key out and let it run all day as long as I keep the key on me. It's rare that I do that.
I don't think I've ever seen a vehicle stolen 10 times in one day.
My car was I had the go-to car one day. Everyone, whenever someone needed it, oh yeah, just take Dan's car. It doesn't even it's running. Just you can't shut it off. He doesn't have the key in it. And people would take it and go get extra gas for a generator and things like that. So it does help to have a good friend or a good teammate at a show to do that for you every once in a while. Have I seen the silicone gun?
Speaking of generators, I would like to say thank you to my team that donated me a nice new one because mine rehomed itself. I appreciate that, and it was needed. I am grateful.
Phil, there might be a 10 mil socket on the passenger side floor of the Smurf car. As far as the silicone gun, I have no idea where you put it. Unless you siliconed it to the roof of the Smurf car to get rid of those couple of screw holes that the previous owner threw into it. I have no idea where the silicone is. Hey, I was up late last night working on a Jeep.
I appreciate that somebody's just gonna call you out like that.
That would be Phil at the shop, so that's normal. Especially since I was in there for about 5 hours today, just dicking around with my dashboard and literally pulling everything out and all of the support, the main harness for it, all of the venting, and then bringing my dashboard back here to my apartment to throw it in the bathtub and let it soak, only to find out that it doesn't actually fit in the bathtub. It's too big.
Oh, no.
It's also too dirty. I don't know if I'd want to take a shower in the bathtub after that dashboard's been in there, but you
know. Okay. This hotspot is getting even worse for me. So I think I'm going to have to end the show a little early tonight.
Not a problem. We have other things we can postpone until next week. Yeah, shower shoes are always a good thing. That is true. And Eric, give me 1 second. Let me show you, Eric. Hold on.
I love the name for his shop, Pool Boy Audio.
All right. Eric, when I said that the dash was out, I meant that the dash was out. And right now, there's nothing on the back. There's no more supports. There's no venting. There's nothing. So, will I play with you on Friday night? No, but this year, yeah, I'll get back in the lanes against you, and we'll play around a little bit and see what we can do. But the car is not going to be extreme, not yet. Maybe next year. Melissa, I think you may have froze again there for a second. Oh no, there you go. Okay. Some real competition, please. You haven't had real competition, Eric, in 3 years. That's a shot at everyone else, not at me.
I haven't fought against Dan in a while.
The first show I think that I met Eric at. I think he was doing maybe a 37 or 138 or something like that. And I was just goofing off with like a 142, 143. And I looked at his car and he looked at my car, and we just kind of immediately became good friends in like 2 minutes. That's all it takes sometimes. That, I believe, was the one. Oh,
Okay.
Focus wagon.
Good evening, Mr. Lopez from Mexico. Good to see you in here.
Excellent to have an international flavor again. Canada, Mexico. Yeah, we need Ray in here. We could get the Caribbean in here.
Excellent. Well, I think my hot spot's gone as long as it can down here at the lake. So next week I know to do it from the shop.
Yeah, wherever. We can make a lot of things work. Next week we got a couple more topics that you and I were discussing earlier on today. We'll pick
Yes,
something
sir.
afterward, and oh, good. Phil, I was going to have to drive down there again anyway. Now I got to figure out where I actually put it to hide it from you. But I'm guessing it was not in the paint cabinet, that it was on the floor in the back of the shop by the table saw, where I kicked it earlier. It's actually not where I kicked it to, but I do remember kicking it either yesterday or 2 days ago.
Good evening, Mr. Matthew McCrae. Good to see you. He come home with a whole car full of Orion goodies this weekend. Some that he says are even top secret.
Orion has
Kinda
a lot
proud
of
of
things that
him.
are top secret.
Mhm.
And they make a lot of things that are top secret that there's like, 50 of in the world. And somehow Matt ends up with them. He's got good connections.
All right. Well, have a good evening. I need to go ahead and go because this audio is terrible on my end.
Well, before
We'll
you
try to get
do,
it fixed by next week.
before you do, Melissa, one more time here. I've
Yes,
got
sir.
a show on Friday night. You've got your show in Montgomery on Saturday and Sunday. Pop-Tart is going to be in Madisonville at the Western Kentucky Speedway. Saturday, Brandon has a show in Marion. Sunday, first show out in Oregon for James out there. And we also have a benefit show at the Biloxi Lighthouse for Mike Davis. Benefit show for him on Sunday this weekend. Stop out at your shows, folks. Show some Base Wars love out there and enjoy.
Hey, and congratulations to James on his first show. That's a big deal as a judge. Go enjoy it and have some fun.
You got it.
Proud of you.
Hey, Connie. Good night, Connie. We're just ending. Sorry.
Good evening, Connie. It's good to see you. We were trying to get out of here because I got some bad audio going on. I got all kinds of feedback on my end. I am so sorry, y'all. But we will see y'all next Wednesday night. And if anybody would like to be a guest on the show, just message one of us. We'd love to have y'all. We want to hear what y'all think. And with that, we will say goodnight to everybody.